Hello, white people. Well, the government and the media's lies are starting to unravel. I got a clip here from High Impact Vlogs from Brian. He's an awesome YouTuber. You guys should go check out that channel. He's got High Impact Vlogs and High Impact Flicks. And he's been exposing this virus for the BS that it is. Now, he's not convinced that it's fake. I'm the one that's convinced that it's fake because if you don't have a test for a disease, then you have no disease at all. All right, so here's Brian's video.
The true fatality rate of CV-19 is still unclear. And that's what caught my eye, because for almost 2 months now, all you see is this Johns Hopkins University fear porn death map number telling people how many have been confirmed infected and how many have actually died. Now they're literally telling us that they don't know what the hell's going on. Think about this. They shut down the entire world because of this number and because of their projected numbers, and you're going to hear Fareed Zakaria tell you that they've been doing nothing but flying blind. As of this recording, this video that was uploaded on April 12th has over 230,000 views with a stellar like to dislike ratio and over 2,400 comments. And I'm going to leave this link to the entire video in the description. Share this with all your unnecessarily scared friends. After saying that the total projected death count and hospitalizations would be much lower than initially projected, Zakaria says this.
It made sense to take precautions, but that may have come at a cost as there are concerns that patients with other conditions haven't gotten the care they need.
These knee-jerk, pre-planned precautions that Zakaria says made sense have and will cost the livelihoods and lives of millions of people, erase the middle class, thrust people into poverty, and hook a large percentage of the population on government handouts, not to mention what he just admitted about people with real medical problems who have suffered as a result of people being freaked out about the media's fictitious death count numbers.
So what is going on? Well, many experts believe that social distancing has worked even better than was predicted.
Did you get that? He didn't say many experts can prove with evidence. He said many experts believe. There's no proof that social distancing works. Matter of fact, there appears to be a lot of evidence that indicates that social distancing and isolation makes things worse and weakens the immune system. So we're supposed to rely on unnamed, faceless experts as they express their mere beliefs? It should be noted that Zakaria says the word belief and believe several times in this segment.
But here's a theory, acknowledging we still don't know a lot about the virus. A group of Stanford scholars believe.
Did you get that again? A theory that a group of Stanford scholars believe. We're ruining lives and scaring the hell out of people for theories that people believe? This is pathetic.
That the basic reason estimates of deaths have had to be revised downwards is because without an understanding of how the virus spreads and without widespread testing from the start,
he admits they don't even understand how the virus spreads, and yet they're going to set social distancing and shelter-in-place orders. They're going to arrest people who don't comply with edicts that are based on nothing more than theories, conjecture, and beliefs. They're formulating vaccines and are actually floating the idea of forcing people to get vaccination certificates or you can't board a plane or go to work or ride the bus, and they don't even understand how the virus spreads? You got to be kidding me.
We didn't realize how many mild or asymptomatic cases that there would be. That means the denominator, those who have been infected, could be much larger than initial estimates, and therefore the fatality rate for COVID-19 is much lower.
You want the translation on that? There's a whole lot of people out there who have this, and their system says, hey, this ain't no big deal. And yet he uses words like could, not is, because they don't know what the hell's going on here. But they're experts and you just got to believe them, right? But guys, listen to this bombshell.
In March, the WHO announced that 3.4% of people with the virus had died from it. That would be an astonishingly high fatality rate.
He should have said, if that were true, that would be an astonishingly high fatality rate. But guess what? It wasn't true. It turned out to be a big fat lie. And everybody believed that lie, freaked out, and shut down the world for a fake fatality rate number thrown out by the World Health Organization. Here's the admission.
Fauci suggested a week later that the actual rate was probably 1%.
Probably 1%.
Which would still be 10 times as high as the flu.
Are you hearing this deceptive, enigmatic language? Fauci suggested that the actual rate was probably 1%. Well, which is it? Actual or probable? Definite or suggested? Since we've already set this precedent, are we going to start shutting down entire economies anytime there's a suggested or probable eventuality? But wait, there's more.
Since then, we have learned that many people, in some studies 50%, in some studies as much as 75 to 80%, don't have any symptoms. That means it's possible most people infected with the virus are not getting counted.
Yeah, just like what happens with the regular flu every year. And the reason people aren't being counted is because they're feeling little, if any, effects to the point where it's no big deal. Kind of like a nothing burger.
Stanford's John Ioannidis believes that we have massively overestimated the fatality of COVID-19.
What the hell did you just say?
That we have massively overestimated the fatality of COVID-19.
Did you hear that, Johns Hopkins University fear porn map creators and everybody, including CNN, who still use this fear porn map number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to scare the crap out of people? An expert doesn't just believe they merely overestimated the fatality of CV-19, but that they massively overestimated it. And based on that massive overestimation, they've single-handedly destroyed countless lives.
He told me, when you have a model involving exponential growth, if you make a small mistake in the base numbers, you end up with a final number that could be off 10-fold, 30-fold, even 50-fold.
Let that sink in and ask yourself, who's going to be held responsible for all the death, destruction, chaos, food shortages, supply line disruptions, economic meltdown, and the collapse of the dollar on a possible 50-fold massive overestimation error?
He points out that in some of the places with the best testing, the Diamond Princess cruise ship, the Italian town of Vo Eugenio, Iceland, Denmark, the numbers who are actually infected when adjusted for the US population as a whole suggest a fatality rate that is actually similar to the seasonal flu.
And that's exactly what I and others have been trying to tell everybody. This is what Fauci admitted in the New England Journal of Medicine on March 26th. Quote, the overall clinical consequences of CV-19 may ultimately be more akin to those of a severe seasonal influenza, which has a case fatality rate of approximately 0.1%. Now listen to CNN admit this.
Based on limited testing data, he estimates that fewer than 40,000 US deaths will occur from COVID-19 this season.
Are you understanding what he's saying? You want proof of an admission from mainstream media that you can share with your family, friends, and neighbors that CV-19 isn't even as deadly as the seasonal flu? Well, there it is right there. And hey, YouTube, don't shut down my channel. I'm not saying CV-19 isn't as deadly as the seasonal flu. CNN is saying that. And yet, in spite of the fact that they're admitting now that this is all a massively overestimated lie, and Zakaria goes on to say that they have been and are flying blind in regard to this supposed pandemic, fake stream media and the President of the United States and the CV-19 task force and the pharmaceutical companies and Bill Gates are still pushing testing. They're still pushing the vaccine. They're still keeping us on lockdown. They still launched the corporate bailout. They're still destroying the dollar. They're still enforcing curfews, and they still want you to wear a mask and socially distance. Why? Key bono. Who benefits? Guys, all you got to do is follow the money to find the truth. Please share this video with everybody you know.
And there you have it. The lies are unraveling like a cheap rope. And speaking of rope, one day soon, Home Depot will have a rope shortage. You know something? The people that I'm the most disappointed in is people who call themselves patriots and yet they're still willing to shit on the Constitution and they don't care if the government takes away everybody's liberties because they're scared. I'm so scared. People died. People are dying. People are dying. Because they don't want to use any sort of critical thinking and think through the problem and ask questions. This is the first time in human history that we can talk to strangers all over the world in real time. This is the first time in human history that groups of people from all over the world in real time can debunk lies. And yet people who call themselves patriots are unwilling to talk to other people and discuss the details to fester out whether they are being lied to or not. Alrighty, white people, that's the damage for today. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to your thoughts below. And go check out Brian's channels, High Impact Flicks and High Impact Vlogs.